How's it going there today, everybody? This is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying the content that I've been putting out, I recommend subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. At the moment, I'm releasing 3 videos a week, just straight tutorials, on how to throw. So today I want to talk about putting into a headwind. So there's some techniques that you can use when putting into the headwinds. So here I have some headwinds. It's blowing pretty good today. It's enough to throw your disc offline. So when you're putting into a headwind, when putting into a headwind, if you do your normal putt, which is most of the time is released on a little bit of a hyzer flat, but this outside edge of the rim gets exposed to the wind. So when you putt, if you don't get that disc perfectly flat, this outside edge is exposed to the wind, and the wind is going to throw your disc offline. So what you want to do is put a force over, or kind of like an anhyzer putt. The reason you want to put a force over or an anhyzer is so your regular putt is here, comes out, and might have a little bit of a hyzer, wing is exposed to the wind. Putting an anhyzer force over would be down here, and because you're flipping the disc out on that force over this way, high on the outside, it's going to come into the wind with the nose down. By putting an anhyzer force over, the nose of the disc is going to be down going into the wind, compared to if you did a slight hyzer. That hyzer keeps the, this whole nose and side of the disc is up, so it's exposed to the wind. Putting a force over is going to flatten the disc out, and the nose is going to stay down going into the wind. And what you want to do on this putt, if your normal putt is here off the front, right? To make sure you get a force over, you want to come over here with it, outside your body line. That way you can make sure when you come through, you roll it over. You can see how the outside's up on the putt. So you got to come down here, out here. It's going to help you get that outside edge up. Shoulder rotates under a little, so that way you can get the putt on that force over. And this is what it looks like.
So here's what I'm talking about. When you're putting and there's heavy winds, you need to put the disc on an anhyzer to keep the wing down so that you don't accidentally put a hyzer. Because if you put a hyzer, the wind can get underneath the disc, and it's gonna, throw your disc offline. So here, this is James Conrad. He's putting. The wind is blowing right to left, so it's blowing towards the water. If he puts this disc and it accidentally gets onto a hyzer, as it rolls over, that wing becomes exposed, the wind is going to throw it into the water. So watch how he puts this putt. You see what he did? he went ahead and putted. He went ahead and putted an anhyzer. He putted an anhyzer because he knew if he putted his normal style of putting, there was a chance that the disc was going to, the outside wing was going to be exposed, to that crosswind. The disc was going to roll over into a hyzer, and the wind was just going to throw the disc. So you can see how he putted an anhyzer, which kept the disc nose down, and the wind didn't affect it. He was able to put the disc right up at the basket. So I recommend trying this next time the wind is blowing really hard in your area, for trying to get the disc closer to the basket so you can, either make it or put it in. So anyways, it's just a good thing to think about when you're putting in heavy winds. Remember, putting into a headwind or a crosswind where your wing or the disc is going to be exposed, put an anhyzer and the wind can't affect it.
So if I just kind of throw to my bag, the first one will be a hyzer putt. Oops. So a hyzer putt it's really windy. Okay, so here, an anhyzer force over putt. I'm gonna come from down here and bring this disc over this way and see if I can control it. You can see on that one, it went right to the basket. Even though, we're putting into a headwind. So instead of the disc flipping on you, like those did, the disc held the line and came back to the right a little bit. So I just recommend, if you're playing in a windy area like I do, and you have any kind of a headwind putt, get that disc out on the outside edge and force it over, and it'll calm it down on that putt. So anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.